Hi, my name is Sophie Tiger, and the social problem that I focused on was wage inequality between male and females in the US specifically. This topic can be viewed as a subjectivist outlook, which is drawing from the Social Problems textbook by Gillett, specifically page 9. So this just means that either people view it as a problem or they don't. In a direct quote by Statistica, the male to female earnings ratio in 1990 was 71.6%, indicating that a regular female worker earned about 72% of the amount a male employee in the same position did. In 2015, this ratio was at 79.6%, showing a trend towards closing the wage gap between males and females. And that is the end of the quote, which is a very good sign. However, the wage gap still exists. This problem has existed for many years, but now more than ever, people are speaking up. There are a lot of people who don't see it as a concern, but there are also a lot of people advocating for equal pay amongst genders. The wage inequality issue has been and is currently in some stages of the social problems process, as discussed in the Social Problems textbook by Joel Best. Claims making. It has the main claims makers have been the feminist movement and media coverage. It has seen a lot of media coverage, especially in recent years. And public reaction, there has been some negative, but there's also been a lot of positive. And a lot of people have jumped on board with this, specifically because they didn't know before, and now a lot of people are speaking out about it. And then after public reaction, there is policy making. However, there has not been any policy making just yet. But there is possibility for policy making, whether it be in companies or corporations or lawmaking. And with policy making comes social problems work and policy outcomes. This obviously affects professional working women. However, it also affects the future generation, and not just females in the future generation, but also males. For example, if there is a single mother in a professional career and she's not making as much as her male counterpart, there is a possibility that this single mother and her children, whether they be male or female, could grow up in poverty. And there's also a huge possibility that we've seen in many cases that the poverty cycle continues. Also, if that single mother has a daughter and she sees that her mother is not making the same as her male coworker, then that may set her mind on, or give her the mindset that men are superior and deserve to earn more. However, it could also spark the counter effect, which could be that that she will strive to make more than that male, or the exact same. So the claims that I've seen throughout my research about this problem are along the lines that it is completely blown out of proportion to hide bigger problems. It relies on education. Equal pay won't close the gap, and the gap is not just based on gender. So the claim that it is a lie comes from a 2015 article done by the Hoover Digest, claiming that Barack Obama worded his claim about the wage gap in such a way that it seemed as if he was trying to hide bigger issues that were going on at the time. The claim that it mostly relies on education comes from a study by the Stanford Center on Poverty and Inequality, saying that women were more likely to graduate high school. However, they were less likely than males to go to college and to even graduate college. In a direct quote from that exact same article, it says that men tend to concentrate on a career-oriented fields of study. So that just means that they go for careers that pay more or that require more years of study. The claim that equal pay alone will not close the gap comes from an article by Rachel Gillett on the Business Insider website. It follows a professor at Harvard University that suggests that speaking isn't going to close the gap. But the gap will close as long as companies and corporations change their wages, and that this has already started to happen on its own without policymaking or lawmaking. And so the final claim about the wage gap that is not just gendered specific comes from a study entitled "The Simple Truth About the Gender Pay Gap" by the American Association of University Women. And yes, the gender pay gap is gendered. However, it focuses, it's also based on age, race, location, and education. This problem and its claims mostly use in words of Joel Best from the Social Problems textbook, the alignment frame, because it aligns itself with a very popular and talked about movement, which is the feminist movement. And the feminist movement have gotten behind this, and they have made a lot of claims about this, as mentioned before. So the claims made by the Hoover Digest were more directed at breaking down the claims of the former president, and it was more about political affiliation than the gender wage gap itself. The other claims, however, were not alone in what they thought. There have been plenty of articles focused on the same exact claims. A lot of claims have to do with who is mostly going to view those sites. So the American Association of University Women, they tend to focus more on talking to the feminists and not just people who are totally against feminism. And according to the American Association of University Women, the wage gap has started to get smaller from the 1970s to now, due to the fact that there are more females in the workplace and they are getting a higher education. So a lot of the factors go back to the feminist movement and the beginning of the feminist movement even, giving women equal opportunities and fighting for women to get equal opportunities in the workplace and in school. Also, the trend of single income households has definitely promoted single mothers to go into a professional career to support their family. And finally, one solution that has popped up in a lot of my research, mostly the Business Insider article that was done by Rachel Gillett that followed the Harvard professor, was the suggestion to hold companies and corporations accountable for the wage gap between their men and women. And I think this is a really great suggestion because it promotes accountability in big businesses, and it has already shown progress without needing laws or policies. And the Business Insider said that they wanted to close the gap organically, and this is exactly how it's going to happen. So thank you for watching, and I hope that this has educated you a little bit more on the gender wage gap. Thank you.